Alright guys, this is day 3, 4. I lost count. It's been a while since on the last part you seen of the BB, Kevin and Jerry putting the turbo on. Turbo's on the car already. I'll go over it with you guys in a bit. We're gonna head to Church Tuning to do the Pro Tune for a 91 map and potentially an E50. We don't know yet, okay? But right now, the car is on the E85 D-Man tune. So we need to go back to a 91 tune. Anthony's busy right now, so I don't think I have a 91 tune even on our access port. Change ECU map. Yeah, I definitely don't have this map. I'll check right now, so I need to download my access port. By the way, MacBooks are not it, man. Windows for life. This is so inconvenient for me to use. Probably because I don't know how to use this. Like, mouse battery very low. Man, see, on my PC, I don't need to charge my battery, bro. Because we're the wire gang, you know, we don't do wireless. Yo, so how do I go behind it? So inconvenient. Oh, look, there it is. So all we have is 85 maps. I don't know if the website allows you to download 91 maps. All right guys, access port failed because we don't have a 91 map from Anthony because we never did a 91 map. We went straight to E35, E40, and then E85. So in the meantime, we're just gonna run an E85 map and no boost, just let it idle through. And then we still have like quarter tank E85, and the tuner wants to put 5 gallons or 6 gallons of 91, and we're gonna build from there. So in the meantime, we're out of coolant because when we do the whole turbo kit, we have to drain all the coolant to put everything on. So I went to buy coolant this morning and we still need another one. So let's go to a quick O'Reilly run or AutoZone, they call it over there. So as you can see from the turbo kit, it's legit a bolt-on. Kevin actually hit up the customer. We were missing the wastegate adapter. We really needed that to make it work. And then a couple of hoses were missing, which is fine. Kevin also went to get some hose made. Brackets to hold the ETS front mount intercooler was also missing. So we just used Ray's Motorsports brackets. So the intake, the front mount that we sold to our friend, he used to make some custom brackets so we can hit up Ray's. Aside from that, everything is, as you can see, directly straight bolt-on. Power-wise today, I don't know what we're expecting, to be honest. With Church Tuning, okay, I know everyone's gonna ask this again, but I will tell you again. Okay, the reason why we're going with Church Tuning instead of Anthony, because this way it's a lot easier for us. So when you do a Pro Tune in person, they just open the laptop, you know, some Fast and Furious, and you know, they punch in the numbers and it's good. Okay, it's not like that, but it's more refined tuning, right? With Anthony, we have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which is fine, but due to the time crunch, I just want to get it knocked out. Anthony already had a map for us, so shout out to Anthony again. If you're in the new WRX game and you need a tune, like an E-tune, or you have questions or you're a little concerned about what to do for a first tune, go hit up D-Man Tuning right here, okay? Because he is the best. He's been supporting our cars since day one. We have about 10,000 miles, aggressive miles, and the tune did its purpose. You know, no weird knocks, none of that weird stuff. It's the perfect, like D-Man, absolutely hands down the best. So hopefully today, what I want to do is get close to like 500 to the wheel, like maybe a 440 or 450 to the wheel. It's gonna be nice. The car is gonna shoot hella flames from the side, right? It's gonna sound crazy, but I know for sure the transmission is gonna have issues because a while back, me and Jerry were on mountains and then it really slipped on 3rd gear. If I don't like money shift, the transmission will be fine. And we're gonna test the transmission too, you know? So for those that are planning to get big turbo and you're on a budget right now because you don't want to drop like 10 G's on the STI transmission swap, trial and error at this point. This whole setup cost us how much? We did the Hestas, we did the upgraded radiator, all that stuff with the turbo. I think we're about 10,000 right now, minus the tune. So I think we're like at 50K right now, the WRX total, huh? It's a little shaky right now because we're out, show them the most crusty road ever. This is like the crustiest road ever. I'm gonna go off-road, Jerry, ready? Look at that trash can, 10 points, woohoo! Just kidding. That's a blue one, but that one's different. I really don't know the difference between all the type of coolants. We usually use like generic coolants on some of our economy cars, but they work fine.
The next day.
Guys, we arrived at Church Tuning. I've been coming here since 2012. It's kind of loud. They're gonna set the car up for us right now. As you can see, this is different than the typical dyno we use. You'll see a more accurate reading than the Mustang dynos. I just put in 5 gallons of 91, so it's running E40 right now. But hopefully to max out E40, maybe E50. So other than that, guys, enjoy the B-rolls and we'll see what numbers it makes. Right guys, we're officially at the intake table. There's a bunch of intakes here and inlets. We just had some bomb ass street tacos over there. Shout out to the family over there hooking it up. As you can hear from the background. All right guys, so we're about 30 minutes inside tuning the car right now. We ran into some issues where the car is not building boost. Sean was thinking that the wastegate actuators might not be functioning properly, causing some leaks. Because right now at 5,000 RPM, it's building zero boost. All this at 5,000, open a little bit, it's making like 300 horsepower right now. So I'm gonna take it back and have Kevin maybe take a look into it, adjust it, and then we'll come back another day to get it done. So that's the con side about buying, in my opinion, like, you know, used parts, because you never know what happened before, right? So I think other than that, the car is really healthy. It sounds ridiculously insane. So we'll probably come back next week, as you can hear. See, it sounds, he's gonna do one more run. Hopefully on this fuel map right now, he's gonna set up for us to do E40, and then we'll come back and then do it all over again. We'll update you guys when we come back.
Next day.
Hi guys, we are back at the shop. Last week, we got some video, the car was making pretty much zero boost. So the case was that the wastegate wasn't opening at all. As we're making power, it just stays closed until like 4,000 or 5,000, it opens up a little bit. So we're just definitely not good enough for us. Kevin was here this weekend and he'll explain to you what he did to fix this issue, or hopefully we think we might have fixed it. This hose right here, it was a little bit too thick, causing some leaks. So we went ahead and changed all the hoses here. Yeah, Kevin will give you a walkthrough of what he did here. And other than that, everything fits on perfectly. Also, we are playing around with the tip. We wanted to modify the tip to aim a certain way, but in the end of the day, we're gonna leave it in this position because the hole we cut is actually a little bit too big. It's not too big, but it's a little too big. So we're kind of playing around with it. We're thinking about doing this, but look kind of weird in the end. I think this is, the good thing about this, if we don't want to change this style, we can just always make another pipe, but I think this is fine. This looks good already. Tomorrow, Jerry's gonna go ahead and take the car to church and hopefully get you the final numbers. I'm very excited. So we're running E40 right now. Like I said, we're gonna potentially trying to go for E50. And hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well tomorrow.
Hey everyone, I'm here to go over what I did to hopefully get more power out of the car. So previously, they took the car over to get tuned and they were having some wastegate issues. And so, and some other small leaks, but I finally had time to address everything. One thing I changed out was this distribution block for the vacuum. Previous one I purchased from hardware store. It was 3/8 fitting all around. This port on the blow-off valve is a 1/4 inch nipple. We ended up switching out a distribution block that had variants where we could swap out one end to a 1/4 inch size, so we can actually get a 1/4 inch hose to perfectly fit into the blow-off valve. And then another thing we fixed, we had to adjust the electronic wastegate. Previously, when everything was installed, the adjustment number was actually at like -1 point something. So I adjusted everything to spec because we're running a bigger turbo. I adjusted it to 1.4 for tune session tomorrow. It should be pushing our final figures. So we're aiming for 500 right now, but I have no doubt that it should be pushing that number. Every time I turn the car on, I can actually hear the turbo spool now in comparison to before.
Jesus. Okay, so it is the next morning. We are here at church tuning. It is super loud. I'm really curious to know like what the new power numbers are. It is building boost, but I feel like I could be completely wrong, but I feel like it takes a lot longer to spool now.
Hey guys, my name is Shawn Church with Church Automotive Testing. Been doing this since about 2002, and we're doing some work on this VB here to try and get some more power out of it. It's got an upgraded turbo. And we had a few issues when we were working on this car that we had to resolve. First and foremost, we obviously have a different wastegate on this turbo now, so we had initially some calibration issues with the electronic wastegate that had to be fixed. Got that taken care of, and then we've also, this one's been converted to a mechanical blow-off valve instead of the electronic recirculation valve that's normally on the car. So this one still recirculates, but hose routing on it when it was delivered to us wasn't quite right. So we had to go back and figure out how to make it work. Initially, anything above 17 PSI, the recirc valve would open up and we would be capped on boost. It was also overworking the turbo. So went through, rerouted all the hosing to make it work properly. Now it does. So now we can actually turn the boost up as high as we like. We went about as high as 23 to 24 PSI on this car, but ended up backing it down. And the reason we had to back it down is that we are still limited by the stock high pressure fuel pump on this vehicle. So what this vehicle is normally targeting is about 2,900 PSI of fuel pressure, and that's pretty much anytime we're at full throttle. As we start to add ethanol fuels there, obviously we're working the pump harder and harder because the more ethanol we have, the more fuel volume we need. To be specific, if we're on E85, we need about 45% more fuel than we would if we were on 91 octane. So we're obviously taxing the fuel system a lot more in this case. So we started out trying on E50 to see how far we could push the car. So if we were to run more ethanol, say E85, we'd have to drop the boost down, but we could run more timing. So we'd actually end up making similar power on higher ethanol, but running less boost. So when we're fuel system limited on ethanol fuels like this car is, we have to kind of find a happy medium. How much ethanol do we want to run to maximize our boost level and our ignition timing, but how little ethanol do we want to run to try and run more boost? We're trying to find the point where we can run the most boost without getting into detonation issues from our very poor quality California 91 gasoline. Now this vehicle is running a Cobb access port and it is using the Cobb next gen or green speed software. So this is basically EPA legal software tuning software still that we're using. So we're not turning off any codes, we're not turning off any check engine lights, anything like that. We're simply optimizing the car to run with a bigger turbo. And for purposes of tuning for right now, we found that E40 is about the right mixture for us. At E40, we're able to run about 21, 22 PSI of boost. Fuel pressure in some places is dropping down to as low as 2,600 PSI. We still have enough injector to deliver the fuel we want, but at that point we know we don't really want to push the fuel system much further. This turbo is not working very hard at 22 PSI. There's a lot more power left in it if we're going to upgrade the fuel system at some point, but for now that's the safe point. No detonation issues, enough fuel to get by with what we want. We could try going down to say E30 and that would probably free up the ability to run another couple pounds of boost, but since we're mixing that with California 91 octane, we're probably going to have more detonation issues there. So it's kind of just a balance issue to get everything there. By comparison, the most we can typically see on a stock turbo is in the 370, 380 range, about 440 torque, it spools up quicker, but they will not pull up top like this turbo does. So this turbo pulls all the way to redline, all the way to 6,500 RPM without falling off at all. So again, we're not even really stressing this new turbo yet. Other than that, you know, it's pretty much straightforward. It's got a cool side exit exhaust, so we occasionally get a little bit of a flame out of it when you get on the rev limiter high RPMs. Pretty straightforward other than that.
There was a delay, right? When he went past, I heard it echoing off of that, and I heard it like 3 seconds later. So I heard it twice when he did the flyby.
All right guys, we just left church tuning. I drove the car for maybe 10 minutes to the spot right here. Shawn gave you guys a breakdown of what happened with the car. And then, but everything's good now. It's running smooth. We have 3 maps, E40, E50, and the flame map. You guys all been waiting for the numbers. So before I show you guys numbers, let's talk about the car real quick. So we are rubbing a little bit right now, as you can see from the front. Sorry about the water with some watermarks. And we're rubbing in the back, like literally the whole tire. Fortunately, I think we might need to raise the car, even though it looks really sexy right now. So let's see, I don't know, maybe it'll rub to the point the flare might fly off. Jerry actually put the flare back in because it legit rubbed there. I can feel it here towards the back. But the car is pretty much set. We might just swap a wing for Subi Fest. We started to put the splitter on, some minor stuff, side skirts we're gonna touch on later. And the window visors, okay? The window visors are missing, so I put that on. But all right guys, enough talking. So the final numbers are